Episode 61, Steady Focused, a conversation about failure. Failure can be described as coming up short on a particular job or a project, being some sort of unsuccessful outcome. If we're going to talk about failure, we also have to have a conversation about fear, courage, mindset. All of that is extremely important and relevant to failure. Bruce Lee says, don't ask for an easy life. Ask for the strength to endure a difficult one. Failure is one of the most powerful motivators known to mankind, and it can deliver to you the keys to the greatest kingdom. Failure is also an abusive monster that will crush your face and will stomp on your head into the ground. What's the difference? The difference is perspective. How do I perceive myself when I fail? How do I perceive a failure? When a failure comes upon me, do I see this as a natural progression in my evolution? Do I perceive this as learning? Or do I perceive it as I am a failure? I am worthless. I am less than now because I have failed. What is my perspective? The only way to success is through failure. The only way to success is through failure. Mike Tyson, the greatest boxer of all time, beat down any man. What happened to him when he was a young child? He was bullied and he was regularly beat up. He failed at fighting over and over and over and over again. And he learned from it. And it toughened him up. And he built upon that failure and became the greatest boxer the world has ever known. Elon Musk, a man who was literally changing the trajectory of humankind, putting us in a position to where we can be a multi-planetary species, moving the human race to another planet. Okay? This man has failed numerous times. SpaceX, the company that is on track to put humans on Mars, to be the first company to do that. You know how many times his rockets have fallen and failed? Sure, he's extremely successful, but do you know how often he literally sleeps at the plant, where either at Tesla or at SpaceX, he sleeps there to overcome obstacles, to problem solve, to overcome failures. Every day we will hit roadblocks. Every day we fail in one shape or another. Every day we fail. Every day. It's all about how do we perceive those failures. Do we perceive those as an evolutionary moment in time towards my progression as a human? Or do I see this as I'm a failure? I'm worthless. I'm a piece of shit. When we're a child and we're born onto this earth, we don't know how to talk. We don't know how to walk. We don't even know how to ask our mother for milk other than screaming. That's all we know how to do. And we don't even know that we're screaming. It's just an automatic impulse that is this going through our body. And yet everyone understands the child is learning. Of course they're going to make mistakes. We don't ridicule the child when they can't speak. We don't ridicule the child when they attempt to walk and fall down. No, we encourage, we love, we give boundaries and support, and we encourage the child to grow up. But somewhere along our line of evolution to becoming an adult, we get it in our head that learning curves aren't for us. Perfection is the only way to be. And we demand instantly to be experts in fields. And if we're not, what are we met with? Mental, sometimes physical, emotional abuse. right? How many times have you beat yourself down over a failure? How many times have I? How many times have you beat someone else down over a failure? Now listen, every failure has a consequence, period. Fact of life. That is a fact. When you're a child, you're learning to walk and you can't, you take the step and you fall, you're going to hit the ground. Every failure has a consequence. My failures have cost me relationships. My failures have cost a client. My failures have ended up where professionally I've dropped the ball on things. Personally, I've dropped the ball on things. Every failure has a very real consequence. And in the extreme cases, our failures can result in someone's death. I'm not saying that if you failed, there is no consequence. That's not true. That's 100% not true. The difference is, what are you going to do about it once you make the failure? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to accept it, acknowledge it, take ownership of it, learn from it, make adjustments and move forward? Or are you going to cower down, lay underneath the bed, wrapped up in bubble wrap, mentally, verbally, physically abuse yourself and avoid ever getting into a situation where you possibly might fail again because it hurt too much? Or, like I said, are you going to accept it? And hey, it might take some time to accept the failure. I'm not saying it's going to be an instant thing. It might take years. I don't know. But I believe in a process. Acknowledge it. First of all, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that a failure was made. Okay, acknowledge it. Second of all, accept it. Accept that, yes, this happened. And accept your role in the failure. Guys, this is huge. Do not miss this amazing, beautiful opportunity for growth by blaming someone else. Don't do that, because in acknowledging, that's where we are to receive our evolution. And it is difficult at times to acknowledge our failure, but if we can acknowledge it, dissect it, understand it, ask ourselves, put ourselves in the situation, why did we fail? How in the future can we avoid this? What can we do to overcome this? What systems can I put into place in the future to prevent this failure from happening? As much as I possibly can, what systems can I put into place in the future to avoid another failure? And that, my friends, is the key to the success. Acknowledge it. Number one, acknowledge. Number two, accept it, and accept what role I played in the failure. Was it ignorance? Do I need more education? Was it laziness? Was it equipment failure? Was it equipment malfunction? Was it I just don't have equipment and I need to get new equipment? Analyze it. Be honest with yourself. We're talking about evolution. We're having a serious conversation about failure, because guess what, guys? By the grace of God, by the grace of the universe, we will be in this situation again. It might not be exactly the exact situation, but we will be in a situation like this again, and we will have the opportunity to choose and do something different. Now, the question is, did I learn from what I just endured? Did I learn from what I just went through? Or did I have this amazing opportunity for growth, for knowledge, for learning, but I chose to blame someone else, right? Or blame something else. Here's the deal, guys. You're going to go. It happened. The failure happened, okay? So now, not only did the failure happen, but I'm going to miss the dessert from this. I'm going to miss the best part of this. I'm going to miss the growth from this. So if I do that, I'm going to have this failure on top of me, and then I'm not going to learn or grow from it. So I'm getting a double whammy. Make the choice. What are you guys going to do? Make the choice. Because here's the alternative. Do we really want an easy, unchallenged life? Is that what you want? Is that what I want? No, it's not. I don't want that. Because the joy is in the climb. The joy is in the struggle. It's in the grind. It's in the overcoming the problems. It's in the problem solving. That's where the joy is. That's where the growth is. That's where the aliveness is. When we push ourselves to the limits, to our boundaries, and push through those, that's when every what atom in our entire body is beaming with light, because we are stepping into uncharted territory, because we are pushing and we're using our entire body to problem solve. That is where it's at, when we step into the unknown and we figure things out. So here's the deal, guys. When we get into our situations of failure, breathe. Recognize that we are in a moment of growth. We're growing. And I get it, guys. Failures suck. Failures hurt. Failures bleed internally, mentally. All this, it hurts. It hurts when I drop the camera. It hurts whenever I'm shooting an interview and I missed the focus. It hurts when I'm in a relationship with somebody and I F up. Okay, I dropped the ball because of my ignorance, because of a lack of will, because of many different things. And then I lose that person out of my life. That hurts. But here's the deal. What am I going to do about it? It's happened. The failure has happened. What am I going to do about it? Failures are the building blocks to success. Failures are the building blocks to success. Thomas Edison, he went through somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 attempts at the light bulb before he created the light bulb. 5,000 to 10,000 attempts. And if he had just given up, even 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 8,000 times into it, our world would be significantly different. Guys, my name is SimeonHendrix, and I have failed a lot. And I understand that failing is difficult. And I'm making this episode because I'm talking out loud to myself. I just happen to have a camera and a microphone in my face. But I'm sharing this with you guys. Failing is difficult, but it's my perspective. It's my mindset. How am I going to react to the failure? Remember this. Fail. Acknowledge the failure. Accept it. Understand what role did I play in it. Own it. Do not miss this beautiful opportunity and put the blame on someone else. Honestly evaluate it. What went wrong? How can I prevent this in the future when it does come around again? Possibly in a different shape, possibly in the exact situation. How can I do it differently? Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Learn from it and move forward. Guys, until next time, my name is SimeonHendrix, and I'm a dude sitting in a chair talking to you about failure. I fail often. Fail hard. Be the success you were meant to be. You are destined. You are destined. You're destined for failure. So fail hard, learn from it, and be the success you were meant to be. I love you guys. Love somebody. Give somebody a high five. Give somebody a hug. Happy weekend.